Hey everyone, it's Amador, and welcome today. This is the Disney Days of Summer, and I am hosting Magic Mondays. This is a collab that I'm doing with my crafty BFF, Sabrina. She is posting on Fridays for Fantasmic Fridays. So let me show you, and you guys check out her video. I will leave a link in the description of her latest project. She made a Mickey marquee light. Super awesome. Just follow her and I think she's gonna be doing a tutorial, so it'll be super awesome. So go check it out. Now today I want to show you. I was also planning to show you my cart, my Rascog cart, but it's a hot mess in here. But let me show you my project. This is just something for display, and that I've been wanting to make. It's actually two things, and I'll have the tutorial for the Disneyland part in a minute. So let me show you guys this is one of the, let me put this one so you can see. This is the largest one of the DCW, here I still have this, the home DCWB letterboards. So this one is a 16 by 20, and I wanted to make a sign, just something like super cute. I want this actually, dropping this other one, I want this actually on a t-shirt. So I used just the letters that come with this. These are the letters that come with it. I bought two of them. I also bought this 12 by 12 one. And look, I made a little Mickey hat. This is only the letter O and a number 8 that I took apart to make the little Mickey ears. So and this is the 12 by 12 one. I got that one as well. I got these at Joann's. So this one, I wanted to make a sign. Just something, you know, something every day when you think about something that I want, you know, it's a little goal, go back to Disneyland. And I used the regular letters that came with it. It said, take me, buy me, and call me pretty. So, take me to Disneyland, buy me a Dole Whip, and call me pretty. So, I cut the letters and the Dole Whip and the pretty part from my Cameo, and I will, and I have a tutorial at the end of the video for how I did this, because this honestly, and it starts halfway through it, so I do apologize, but that is only because I was eyeballing it, and I was just like, you know what, let me find out, see if I can actually get this to work. So what I did on the actual font of the, let me find it here, the actual font for the Disneyland is a silhouette file. Let me find it. Where am I? I'm losing my mind. Okay, it's actually called Deutschland, and that's how it's spelled. Of course, I will leave the number and everything at the bottom. I used it before. So what I used for reference was this. This is just an image I googled and it was Disneyland, one of these vintage signs. And I didn't want these bright colors. I don't really like brighter colors. I like the neutrals, more pastels colors. So I went ahead and I did it the way I have it on my letterboard. So let me show you. The font that I use for the Dole Whip and the Pretty is from Font Space, and it's called, let me see. It's called New Walt Disney Font Regular. So what you do is whatever fonts that you have in your computer, you can actually access with your Cameo. So I just downloaded the font. I mean, you can download a font if you want to, and then you can use it in your in your Cameo. Now, I was too lazy to go through all of that. All I did was if you select the actual font, it'll give you a sample. You write what you want to sample here. All I did was just right click, copy image. I pasted it because I got so lazy. Where did it go? Okay. I pasted it here in my Cameo. Then all I did was I went to the trace window, the trace icon. I traced it. High pass filter taken off. I do the scale to the bottom, and then I just did it to to make sure that I had everything right. And all I did was the trace. So what it does is trace the outer part. This makes your cut. All I did then was, just for visuals for me to see it, I filled it in with black, and the red will be my cut. I did the same thing with Pretty, and Dole Whip. Just because I was too lazy to, you know, download it and whatever. Because I think, I don't know if you have to get a membership or whatever. So this is the Deutschland font. And I just spelled out Disneyland. And this is spread out. The size of this is 3.3 by 10.221. That's the size that I used to make this. Reason being because I wanted it to fill the entire space. I'm trying to pull up the Silhouette Design Store so I can show you guys the font number. It is, you know, you'd assume I totally misspelled that. You'd assume I would have it already set up, but you know, as per usual. Oh my gosh, what am I spelling? How am I spelling S-D? Oh, I'm forgetting. And by the way, I could be completely saying that incorrectly. Shoo, let's see. What the freak? Okay, here it is. That's not it. Okay, so it's Deutschland from Scraps and Fonts, and it is number 133857. And of course, I will leave that down in the description in case you guys didn't catch it here. So I went ahead. Now, this was literally all of it just eyeballing it. So what I did was I measured the letters and everything, and I saw on the sign that some of them were wider than the other ones. Like these are the same. The I, the L, the D are the same size of paper, and this one is 1 by 2.5. Like these are literally, I'm just going through scraps. I didn't make the exact bright colors, but I did choose some lighter equivalents of the greens, the blues, the hot pinks, and the pinks. So, and all of these here, the S, N, E, L, and S, N, E, A, and N are on the same size, and that is 1 1/4 by 2. So this is 1 1/4 by 2, 1 1/4 by 2. The Y is 2.5 by 1 1/4. And this one is 1 1/4 by 2.5 also. So these are the same size. And these are the same size. Now the square from the D is 2 inches by 2. And like I said, literally I was eyeballing it, 2 by 3. And I just went ahead and did that way. In all of these little squares, and you'll see in my process video after this, it's 2, if I'm not mistaken, 2 by 1 1/4. I basically cut the little squares in the back to match the size of these squares, which are, like I said, 1 1/4 by 2. And I just laid them, and they had a space. These have a space. I just literally followed the picture that I found on Google, and I eyeballed this. And this is actually on top of some corrugated paper, corrugated cardboard that I got from one of the boxes, just to give it a little dimension. And these I just put in. This is just cardstock. I was going to, the Dole Whip and the Pretty, I was going to make it out of heavyweight cardstock. I just was too lazy to go get it. Literally, this was all eyeballed, but it actually turned out, I believe, amazingly. And I used glue dots for this because I will probably change this. 1 minute I might want a churro, and I might not want the Dole Whip on there. So, but I do want to put the Call Me Pretty. So it says, take me to Disneyland, buy me a Dole Whip, and call me pretty. So that is my display. And if anything, this, you'll see the description. Oh, and these, the blue and the green are 1 1/4 by 2.5. Same thing. This one is 3 by 1.5. This ivory part. And this is yellow. This is yellow in the original picture. But this you can use for, and this is just the measurements for how I enlarged this one, because I felt that this would fit perfectly and just take right enough space. But just follow the process, and you will see me struggle with glue dots. I personally hate glue dots, and but I still have them, so I want to use them, and I use them all up. So stick around for the tutorial and the process video for the Disneyland part. But this is, I totally boo-booed that one, but this is my Magic Monday project, a little home decor piece. And like I said, you can change out the Dole Whip for a churro, anything like that. And look how gorgeous, ooh, I just messed that one up. See, this is what happens when you don't glue things down. But like I said, I just wanted to use some glue dots, and then on the pretty I actually used some ATG because I want to be able to remove this and change this. And this is actually put on with ATG also. But this, like I said, I wanted to make my own phrases for this. So stay tuned, and thank you guys for stopping by, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Happy summer days of Disney, and talk to you guys soon. Bye, everyone. Here I am already, like I said, I was eyeballing this and I was halfway through it, and then I said, you know, maybe I should record it in case it does come out okay. And luckily it did come out okay. But here you see me, this is before I realized that I was missing the light pink background square behind the Y and between the Y and the L. So I actually took it apart from the actual finished product. See, I was getting all carried away, and then I'm like, wait a minute, why is the D is supposed to be right over the ivory part, and I'm like, there's something not right. So then I realized, oh, I'm missing a little square. Here I am taking it all apart, since I had just barely, like I said, I was doing a very light adhesive with my ATG gun, and I decided to just go ahead, instead of starting all over, because I had already cut it and I didn't want to go back and cut it again, that I would just go ahead and take half of it apart and do it again. Here I am adding the second piece, and you see how I'm layering it on the corrugated cardboard one by one, and then as you can see, I do run out of space of the backing part, so all I do is just flip it over, grab another piece, and this is cut at, this strip is cut at 1.5 wide, so I just cut another one and no problem. I use the priority shipping boxes from the post office. I have tons of them, so on occasions I do use them for the actual just purpose of needing the cardboard. And I just went ahead and cut a little piece, and I adhere it to the back, and then you will also see me put another little piece of the green paper on the back just to reinforce it, because I didn't want it to fall apart since I'm going to be moving it around with the backing pieces. And here I am, and the last yellow section, or ivory as I used, it has a little bit of a gap, probably like 1/8 inch gap between the green and the ivory piece. And here I am just putting the backing to it. I just went ahead, flipped it over, and then I continued to add on the letters again. As you can see, here I am, they're mostly back on. I cut off the extra piece of the cardboard, and then I just continued to the beginning of doing the D. Now, the reason why I didn't do the D, because I had to position the other ones first to me, and then be able to position the D on the height of those things, and I didn't want to do the larger piece if something was off. And there you are. And these are just the colors that I followed from the picture. It was black. The background parts were black, green, and you can see them all right there. Black, green, blue, pink, like a fuchsia, light blue again, and then pink again, and green, the green tall part. But here I am. I'm just using ATG adhesive to put it on the letterboard. And the funny thing is, you can see the crinkled up transfer tape was actually because I used it to transfer the vinyl for my cart, my Rascot cart, and I totally forgot to show you guys that, so I'll show you guys in another video, probably when I have it all set up and everything. So this was just literally in my wastebasket, and I'm like, you know what, I need something to transfer this with, and this one didn't have that much of adhesive, so I just grabbed it, and here I am playing with these glue dots, which I'm sorry, I absolutely abhor glue dots. I personally don't recommend them for card making because that stuff literally falls off. Now, there are thicker glue dots. Those are perfect. I use the dimensional ones and I use the bigger ones. These are just the smallest ones, which are less than 1/4 of an inch. And a lot of people use them. I personally don't like to unless I really want something to be exactly temporary, so I can just take it right off. They come off super easy. And I'm sitting here struggling with these stupid things, trying to get it on the back of the dough wick part and the pretty part. Eventually I get them, but the pretty I do end up using ATG gun adhesive to just throw it on to the letterboard because it has thicker, wider bases for the letters that I'm able to just put ATG adhesive and place it on my letterboard. Now, if I hadn't mentioned, also these letterboards are at Joann's. I've only seen them at Joann's. And I used a coupon. The largest one was $29.99, and it came down to $15. So that was super inexpensive letterboard. I get to customize it, and it already comes with 188 letters. I did show the haul with them in a previous video. So just go ahead and take a look at that. But here I am. I had already positioned the Take Me To, Buy Me A, and Call Me phrases already separated with the exact amount of separation for all of them, just to have the perfect spacing for the other two items. And I think it completely worked out. And like I said, you can completely interchange any of these words for phrases for your project. But it's super awesome, and I know I really should have downloaded the font, but I was just being lazy. So I just copied and pasted. I'm so bad. But hey, you know what? I paid the extra $25 for the designer edition. I might as well get to use it. So here, I'm just showing you another little, just the last view of it, and I absolutely love it. I wish I was able to open it from the back to have it lit up. But here you go. I hope you guys like it. Let me know what you guys think. I know some of my subbies asked me for some decor pieces, and that Disneyland, you can easily use it for decor. So thank you guys for stopping by for Magic Monday again, and take care and go check out Sabrina's channel. Bye, everyone.